Hi guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to another video. Now obviously this is going to be a continuation into the small scale group build. It's actually the 19th of February and as you can see we've done absolutely nothing other than strip the paint, disassemble the two builders we had. Now I don't know whether this is going to just be a full build video, we release it on 29th of February, or if we just or if we do a couple of updates before then. But to be quite honest with you, I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to get cracking on this project now, and we'll see how the video takes us. We'll just see you in the next clip. See you in a second. Right then, I think after that very short intro, I think I'm just going to stop what I'm doing here for now. I think it's Friday night now. I had a couple of hours after that clip just to get started, and another hour or so this afternoon. So I haven't really had a great deal of build time on this, and I think over the last couple of days my initial thought was that I would probably just do a load of really short clips and just do a full build video and try and release it on the 29th of February. But in all fairness, I think with my workload over the next couple of days, the fact that over the last couple of weeks I hadn't really been feeling myself at all, I just don't know if I'm going to meet that deadline. But because I've potentially got a trailer to build as well, and you know, if I go down that route, and there is also potentially another project we're just going to throw in, and I don't really want to rush it just for the sake of knocking a build out and getting it out for the deadline. I think I did that with the last project for that pickup, and you know, I nearly killed myself on that one. So I'm just going to take my time. I'll show you what I've done. So like I had a couple of hours the other day, and basically, I mean, obviously the tow car, we've not had to do a great deal for. All I've been doing on this one is finding the best parts out of the two built kits we had, and trying to make something out of it. So all this has to be repainted and what have you, but I think I've got a pretty sturdy base for this one now. I will make it all nice in paint. I'm not going to go too far in detail on the interior on this one, just because it's a full pane of glass on these. I'll try and show you what we got for that. Yeah, they're like a full pane of glass, so you're not going to see much through them windows anyway. We're picking out like the best engines and what have you for this, because I do want this one to be a nice clean build. But I think other than piecing together the chassis, we've glued the front valance on. I did spend quite a bit of time scribing these doors, the door lines out, the panel lines, and the boot lid. In fact, I've scribed this one twice, because after I'd finished this one, I thought I picked up the body for that one, and I started scribing this one again. So this is about one scribe away from cutting the doors fully out. But you know, I think like I said, I really don't like using the panel line for door shuts and what have you. So it worked well for me. But they're nice and deep on this, and there's definitely a difference between quality of plastics. I think this is a later issue. You know, certainly in a more recent years issue, and that one I started which we're working on, that was from like the 80s, and this is a much nicer, softer plastic to work with, whereas this one is just so brittle. Any cut you try and make to that, it wants to snap off a whole panel. I've got a few examples of that. But yeah, this is just going to be a nice clean tow car. Just something to resemble the one we had when we were growing up. I mean, it was in my very young years. I think this car, we had a light blue one, and that was probably gone by the time I was 5 or 6, I would have thought. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are with the tow car. And then we spent a bit of time on this one. again, it's just a few hours of just trying to make this. I mean, I was going to cop out a little bit, to be quite honest, knowing that we've not got much time, and I was just going to do it as a race ready banger race, but I thought I would be copping out at that, and it wasn't really what I wanted to do with this project when I was thinking about it back end of last year. So for time restraints, we're just doing what we can with the kit plastic rather than going into trying to shape tin or copper. I spoke to my brother a couple of weeks ago, and he was sort of showing me some methods on using copper for this kind of work, and if I had a bit more time I probably would have messed about with that, but like I say, a few hours is all I've had to get this started. I think we're getting there. I mean, I've done damage using kit plastic only before, and you know, I think, you know, it's very easy to make it look like a blob of molten plastic when you're using heat and what have you. So it's just a case of being really careful. But like I say, what didn't help on this one is the plastic is so brittle. You know, I started cutting a little bit of the chassis out to accommodate the damage to the rear quarter panel, and it pretty much snapped off half the rear of the chassis, and I wasn't being rough at all with it. So, and they had a few breaks on the body, but yeah, I mean, we got, like I say, we got the hood bent up. We had to, if you didn't watch the first video, the reason why I chose to do a banger racer for this one was this was a short shot body, and it had half the front of the front wing, or front fender as you guys call it, missing. So I thought to accommodate that would give it a bit of heavy damage to the front. Just kinked up. I mean, I just use a bit of heat, and I use like sharp, or really straight edges, like anything like a dinner knife or something like that, you know, just while it's starting to warm up a little bit, just wrap it round a dinner knife and what have you. Or I've got a metal ruler as well, which I've been using for this one, and I get like pliers and stuff like that. It's like the front edge of the bonnet. On these old Fords, they used to rust like hell, so I thought we'll chip away a little bit at the bonnet to make it look like it's knocked a bit of the rust out of the front. Bit of damage to the front valance. We've glued all that in. Just try and take that out of the way so it's not losing me focus. Like, I think that's the problem. But yeah, we just started hollowing out the headlamps. You know, we snapped half of the grille off there. This is a good example of where, because I wanted to cut when I'm doing damage like this on a when I'm only using the plastic kit body. I do at least try and cut straight through on the doors, so you can sort of fold them out a little bit so you aren't losing your door lines and stuff. So, but a bit of heat on this area just completely shrank the door completely. So, but I wasn't too concerned, to be quite fair, because I knew I'd just build up with a little bit of sheet plastic and make it work for me. So I think, you know, we got it all tucked in there. We sliced off the bottom of the front fenders as they would on a banger racer anyway, and you know, I think just give it a bit of a hefty knock on the rear quarter panel, the boot lid, and again you can see here with a little bit, because I cut the boot lid completely free. Tiny bit of heat on there was just enough for that edge to completely go. But again, wasn't too worried at all. I kind of used it in my favour to use some sheet plastic and get a bit more of a sharp edge on there, like a proper bend. And the other side, I mean, this is where we started using. I started using a soldering iron. I really didn't like it. I've never used a soldering iron before, and I thought I'd give it a go. And trying things on a 1/32 scale model is probably not the best idea. So we quickly stopped with that before it went too far, and I ended up just using a mixture of these Dremel bits, or not Dremel bits, you know, very cheap style Dremel bits. I think these were about £2, but in all fairness, they do the job for me. But yeah, we just started. It's more with stuff like this. It's more just carving your detail in and trying to make it look as realistic as you can without going to all the extent of you bending foil round stuff and what have you, and especially in time scale we've got here. So, and any gaps where I felt it was too big, it was just like on the bonnet, it was probably sticking up a little bit too much, and I could have addressed that with a bit more heat and bending, but I thought I'd just quickly get a bit of scrap plastic, make some hinges, and I think we did the same on this side of the trunk lid. But it looks a bit rough now, but it's all, I think I've got it to the point where I'm pretty happy with the damage we've put on this one. And I've got a few paint techniques which is going to help us. I mean, I'll generally probably put a good couple of coats of silver on there after the primer. So once it's got all the body colour, it's going to be blue. Main body colour is going to be blue with black trunk lid, black hood, checkered roof, black panels for the numbers on the sides. But we will be basing it up with a good couple of coats of silver, so I can just get in there with the razor blade and start chipping away some of these edges. Looks a bit like it's broken through to bare metal, so to speak. But other than that, you know, we've had to cut quite a bit of the chassis away to accommodate the damage. We've put a new trunk floor in, and I kind of bent it up to sort of simulate that it's bent the trunk floor, boot floor up a little bit. Didn't really want to use. I mean, the only thing is me 1/32 scale parts bin is absolutely non-existent. Didn't want to put hubcaps on the stock car, so had to really think of something what I could do. So I flipped the wheels around so they got a deeper recess. Put some headlamps in from the parts box. I think the headlamps I think they're possibly from a 51 Chevy. I had a couple of sets from either a 51 Chevy or a 50 Ford convertible. It was one of the Matchbox, AMT Matchbox issues, because you can see there I've sanded that one down a bit more. It's in that blue plastic they came in that series, but went all the way through on the rears and just made some centre caps on both of them. Just, I mean, they're not perfect and they don't really resemble much but I think once they're all painted blue, bit of black wash in there, you know, I wasn't after something super detailed. And yeah, I think we just started playing around with the interior, got the roll bar fitting quite nicely now. I did actually, it's the second time I've done it. The first time I plugged it straight into the chassis, hence why we got some of the original roll bar still left in the chassis. I'm just going to leave it in there to plug the holes in there, but it's pretty sparse in there. We're keeping it like that, but we are going to add a bit more detail into the interior. I mean, I've been building things like that. We've got a little fuel cell. I mean, the period I'm doing for this one is going to be like the 70s, mid to late 70s. So there was not much of the safety stuff you see on a modern race car now. You know, you haven't got any door plates or any of the shields that go on over the sides, over the corners of the hood to stop it going through the windshield. We just drilled some holes. We're gonna throw some chain through there. We're gonna put some scale rope or whatever I can find to simulate scale rope or chains just to wrap around the door pillars. Like I say, we'll put a fuel cell in there. I don't know if they were actually doing stuff like that in the mid 70s, but we'll put a fuel cell in, put a fuel line down the center of the console with a fuel shut off, sort of in reach of the driver. But I think, yeah, other than that, you know, there's still a lot of work to do. Like I say, I would like to get a trailer done. I think that would look quite nice with with that pulling trailer. If I could get a little base for it, that'd add to it a little bit more. But like I say, I don't really want to rush it, to be quite fair. I think, I'd rather just spend a bit of time and maybe be a couple of days late, put out a video when I'm good and ready, and I'm happy with the product, so to speak, I'm putting out, rather than just throwing something on the table that I'll just look at for the next God knows how long and regret not doing stuff. So, but like I say, I thought we'll just do a short video this time. Like I say, I've got a really busy weekend ahead of me. I've got so much stuff to sort through, and do want to try and get more content out for you guys, but at this moment in time, it's a little bit difficult. So, and I didn't want the next video to be another, just a continuation of looking through the builder stuff. I wanted something in between, so I thought that'd make a nice enough video for that purpose. And then we'll maybe, if I can find a couple of hours in next week, we'll maybe get another one of them videos out for you. But like I say, we're making a bit of progress. Not as much as I would have liked to have by now, but I think next video on this one, it'll probably be a usual quick pre-assembly. There won't be much to show, and then we'll just show the built models, for the ones which we've actually completed. So, I think with that, I'll leave you to it. We've milked it for nearly 18 minutes. Whatever you're doing for the rest of the weekend, really hope you have a great time. Hope the weather picks up wherever you are. I know we've been experiencing a bit of rubbish weather around here at the minute. Kind of brings you down, all that kind of stuff. So, but whatever you're doing, have a great weekend. Thank you ever so much for everybody who sticks by and watches these videos. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who comments on the videos. It took me a long while to respond to the last ones, but I will always reply to all the comments. Your patience with that is really appreciated as well. To all friends of the family, old and new, all that carry on. Hope we find some new friends to join all the really good old friends we've got. So yeah, with that, we will just see you in the next video. Okay, see you, bye.